data engineer at Cloud9 Infosystems. Today's webinar is on Dynamics 365 Customer Insights. In this webinar, we'll discuss what Customer Insight is, why it's needed, with the explanation of different functionality like data unification, data enrichment with data analytics. After that, I will present a demo of Customer Insight application. So let's move forward. To compete in today's market, organization must build meaningful relationship with their customers on personal level. In Customer Insights, we can create and manage customer profiles and real-time segmentation. Microsoft prepackaged business managed solution makes Customer Insights a reality for organizations of all the sizes. The solution automates the orchestration of customer data and ultimately empowers the employees to connect and engage with customers at the moment. Organizations can obtain a truly complete view of each customer across channels, from campaign resources, website visit, online purchases, loyalty redemptions, customer service encounters, or social interaction. The solution enables administration to bring in customer data from various sources with ease, whether the data resides in transactional or behavior or internal or external data sources. Additionally, the solution standardizes the data and applies built-in artificial intelligence to automatically match and merge the customer records into one comprehensive customer profile. Also, organizations can create richer profile with brand affinity and interest from Microsoft Graph, which provides aggregated pro-priority predictive signals. So, with accessible, persistent, and up-to-date customer data, the entire organization has a single source of truth on top of which analytics, AI, and ML can apply to derive insights and KPI that power personalized experiences and optimize business processes across all the channels of engagement. So in Customer Insights, so the Dynamics 365 Customer Insights lets us use our data from a wide range of data sources. We can import the data to Customer Insights with one of many out-of-box connectors that are available for sources such as Dynamics 365 apps, Azure SQL databases, and Azure Blob Storage. Even if you don't find suitable connectors for your source, you can export the data from source as a CSV file and import it to Customer Insight with the CSV connector. After setting up the data sources, we can unify the data in Dynamics 365 Customer Insights. Data unification includes three steps. One is map, match, and merge. We'll go through this process in detail while showing the demo. The data unification process let us unify disparate data sources into a single master data set that provides a unified view of your customer. So data enrichment. Relationships helps us to connect entities and generate a graph of your data when entities shares a common identifier, which is foreign key that can be referenced from one entity to another. So we can connect multiple data sources and we can define the relationship. Also, the custom model page list workflows based on the Azure machine learning models. So we can connect our own custom Azure ML model in Customer Insights. The enrichment page helps us to gain data-driven insights on affinities for hundreds of branch and dozens of interest categories. Now, data analysis. So data analysis is one of the most important part nowadays in the industry. So the segmentation capabilities in Dynamics 365 Customer Insights enables you to group your customer based on the demographic, transactional, or behavioral attributes. Using segmentation, we can achieve more target actions such as promotional campaigns, sales activities, or customer support actions to achieve desired business goals. Measures enables you to define all the key performance indicators that best reflects your specific business performance and health. Measures can either be customer related measures such as lifetime value or business health measures such as monthly active users. Predictions lets you easily create predicted value that can enhance your understanding of a customer. In customer insights, we can export the unified data across the different applications of the Power Platform, like Power BI, Power Apps, and Power Automate. Also, we can export the segments and measures in Power BI. So in this demo, I will show how to use the customer insights by showing how to connect the data sources with data unification and data analytics functionality. So without wasting time, let's move to that portal. So first, to start with the customer insights, we need to go to dynamics.microsoft.com. So inside the application bar, if we go to artificial intelligence, we can see the customer insights application over here. By clicking Get Start, we can start using the Microsoft Dynamics 365 Customer Insights. For new users, you need to have a free trial, or if you are a partner source, you will get the demo environment by Microsoft. So after creating the account or creating the demo environment, we need to go to home.ci.ai.dynamics.com. So where we can see the Dynamics 365 Customer Insight application itself. So we need to sign in with our credentials. So I have created a demo environment. So for demo tenant, inside that I created the demo environment. So I will sign in with that. So by default, if you sign in with the demo tenant, Microsoft will show the demo data where we can't edit any data, but we can see like they already created some measures, some segments. And here, if we click on the customers, we can see the preloaded customers also. But for this demo, I've created another demo environment in which I connected the multiple data sources. So if we go to data sources, here we can here you can see I have connected with 5 different data sources. So if we want to create the new data source, we just need to click on plus add data source over here, then import the data, then next. After that, I can give any data source name. So let's give a name test2. If we click next, it will take a minute and it will show the different data sources from where we can get our data. So yes, so here we can see like we can connect the data from Excel, Access, then text CSV file, JSON file, then SharePoint Online, Azure Tables, Azure Data Lake Storage, etc. So I've already loaded some data. I'm already loaded some entities. So after loading the data, it will open the Power Query. So for example, if I click on edit, here we can see the Power Query. This Power Query editor is very similar to the Power BI Power Query editor. So here in the left side, we can see the query settings. So by default, the data, so here I applied some steps. So here I promoted the first row as header. And after that, I changed some data types. So for example, this date of birth, I changed the data type as date, time format. So after that, if we click next, the query will be applied and we can see those kind of updated entities in data sources section. After that, the next step is to unify the data. So here we can see like e-commerce is pending. It will take hardly 30-40 seconds to load and get available. So after that, the next step is unify the data. So this data are from different sources. So for example, this is from I have a demo data which is provided by Microsoft. They have a data of contents of coffee shop. So here they have the data from like loyalty scheme, point of sales, e-commerce, and website reviews, Dynamics 365 customer service. So they have the data of customers from different sources. So the main aim for using this tool is unify the data. So as I mentioned earlier, in unification we have three M's, which is map, match, and merge. So inside the map, we can see here like we can add new entities. Here I already added three entities. One is e-commerce context, one is loyalty customer, and one is dynamics context. So in the e-commerce context, here we can see like it automatically detects the type. So the Microsoft machine learning tool runs behind this portal, and it detects the data. Like if the field name is city, so it detects like the data that particular column shows the location, and it is city. And over here we can see the date of birth, and it detects like it is a person's birth date. And email also we can see like identity service email. Also it detects the first name, full name, gender, last name, etc. And here we can assign one primary key. So I assign the primary key to contact ID column. Similarly, for the loyalty scheme, it detects the type, and so in some cases, if it's not detecting, we can change from here. So it's very flexible. And here I assign the primary key to loyalty ID. After mapping, the next step is match the data. So for matching the data, we can set some rules. So for example, here I created two conditions, first for full name and one for email. So for full name, I set the precision very low. I will tell you the reason in a minute. And for email, I set the precision very high. So what's the point of setting this precision level? So if I go to preview, so here we can see like, let's consider this second example. So Nancy Wigman, here and here, their both email ID are same, but there is some spelling mistake. So this precision level ignore those kind of spelling mistake, and it won't consider these two people as two person. It will consider these people as only one person. Same for the third example. Here the name is Keenath, and here there is a spelling mistake in name. So it won't consider as a different person. It consider that as a one person. So this is the so that's why for unification, for matching the data, it's very powerful tool. Here, if we say another example, here the Nancy Borman, they wrote the first name last name format, and here they wrote in format like last name and first name. So it ignores those kind of cases, and it consider that as a one person. So this is how we match the data. After matching, the next process is merge the data. So in merge, here we can see there are multiple columns of first name, last name, because we connect two different data sources. So it unify into, and it will create only one customer entity where it fetch all the data, and it removes the duplicates and everything. So after merging the data, the next step is we can see those data in customers. So if I go to customer tab over here, we can see the all customer cards. So here I can search the customer with any name also. So let's say Abby Moss, so we can see that particular customer over here. Also, we can search using the zip code also. So let's say, for example, I will write the zip code 49988. So I will see the customer which is in that particular postal code. Also, we can search it with different ID. Like here, we use the loyalty ID. So I will write LOY loyalty ID 2121 maybe. So it will get the data, customer data for that particular loyalty ID. So it unifies all the data and it brings into the customer column. After that, the next step is creating the relationship. So we connected 5 different data sources. So building the relationship is the key task, because without building the relationship, if we create the measures or if we create the segment, it won't give us the particular exact value. So for that, we need to build the relationship. So here we can, I set the relationship for online purchases and customer unified data. So here we can see the one, it generates another entity, customer, which is provided by customer insights. So if I go to, I can also create the new relationship from here, and I can give any name of the relationship and description. I can choose 2 quantities. So let's say like e-commerce contacts and customer insights, and I can choose any cardinality from many to one or one to many, and I can choose the column also. So for e-commerce purchase, my primary key is contact ID, and here also my my field is contact ID, target fielded. And after giving the name, we can save the relationship and it will create the relationship. But I have already created this relationship, so I'm not going to create that again. But this is how we can create the relationship. Now let's come to measures. So in measures, customer insights provides an intuitive experience to build different types of measures with a query builder wizard that doesn't require the user to code or validate the query manually. So there are 2 types of measures. One is business measure, another is customer attribute. Also, there is custom measures also, but we'll talk about this 2 first. So business measures will show, so it we can see those business measure in home page itself. It shows the measure as per with respect to the organization level itself, and customer attribute measure will show the value according to customer. So here I created 6 measures, 2 business measures and 4 customer attribute. So for creating measures, I can simply click on new measures and it will open a window similar to this. So I already created, so I'm just editing the measure. Here we can select the entity. Here without any coding, I'm just like I want to average the purchases. So I select the average, I select the entity, and I select the field. So I want to average the total price, and I just give the name. So it's that much of simple to create a business measure. For we can also create some complicated measures also. So for example, in lifetime spend, if I click on edit, I added 3 more than 1 entities, and I created some variable for example, a variable is like, so I want to add the purchases which a customer made online and in store also. So I just created a variable which is LT spend, lifetime spend, and I just added 2 quantities. So after adding those 2 quantities, I sum the amount. So it is that much of simple. Also, we can add some dates and all inside the measures. So after creating the measures, so let's see how it reflects. So I will click on home. So here at home, we can see that there are 2 business measures. One is average web purchases value, and second one is average store purchase value. So here it shows the amount and it will update automatically after updating the data set. Now about those 4 customer attributes, let's go to customers and let's go to this David customer. Here we can see there are 4 different measures. So here it's like average web purchases for that particular user for David, average store purchases for David, here total club points which he earned, and lifetime spend which is $4,852. Also we can create some activities which reflects over here. So here in David's case we can see his previous 9 transactions. So we can see like he purchased he purchased from store, he purchased online, then store, so with dates also. So it's a very powerful tool where we unified the data and we can see the overall view of particular customer itself. After creating the measures, we can create the segment. So in segment, we can define the complex of filters around the customer profile entity and its graph of related entities. Each segments after processing outputs a set of customer entity records that you can export and take actions upon. So here I created 2 segments. One is high valued customer on high valued online customer, and one is summer promo. So I will show you. We can click on new segment and it will pop up a window. But I already created the segment, so let's go and edit this segment. So here for high value online customer, what I did is I add another entity which is customer measure, and here we already created the measure which is average web purchases. So I want to see who are the what are those all customers who has made the transaction or who has purchases more than $138. So 138 is basically the average web purchases which we gained in measures. So I want to see above average all customers. So for that I created the segments where I can see that. Also for total summer promo. So oops, let's go and click edit. Here also I applied some group and filtering. So here also I want to see the average store purchases which is greater than or equals to 113, and I want to see for particular age group like who born near like 1981 to 1996. So those kind of conditions also we can give over here. So it's very easy and there is no coding needed. So anyone can do it very easily. After that, let's see how this segment reflects on the port. So if we click on home, here we can see like high value online customers and summer promo. So I added this data yesterday, that's why it's showing the constant line. But if the data is getting updated day by day, this graph will change according to that. So this is the segment section. After segment, in intelligence, we can create some custom models. So for custom models, we can, so in Azure Machine Learning Studio, we can create some machine learning models and we can get those models for some predictions or some kind of like classification also we can use it. So I haven't created that until now, but maybe for next webinar, I will show on the Azure Machine Learning, how to use the Azure Machine Learning Studio and how to connect that model in Customer Insights. So this is the overall Customer Insights view. Apart from that, there is the export destination. We can export our data in multiple sources, which is Power BI, Power App, Power Automate. So let's check. I have created a dashboard using this unified data. So, and I published that dashboard in Power BI service. So let's see, I sign in with that ID, and here in my workspace, I created this report. So here I used that unified data and I created this demo dashboard kind of thing. So it's very easy to get the data. There is only one connector. So in Power BI desktop, what we need to do is, let me open the Power BI desktop. It will take a minute. Bear with me for a second. So in Power BI desktop, if we click on get data, we can see there is a customer insights connector. So here more, and let's search for customer insights, and here we can see this connector. So by using this connector and by entering the credentials, I have already entered the credentials, so that's why it won't ask again. But by entering the credentials, I can see my demo environment. Also, I can see all the entities, all the measures, all the segments, and all the unified activity. So I don't need to recreate the measures again. Also, I don't need to unify, or I don't have to do any kind of data cleaning again and again. So I will just click and load and transform the data. And after that, I can create the dashboard. So this is how we can integrate the customer insights with Power BI. Similarly, we can integrate the customer insights with Dynamics 365 application. Also, we can integrate with the Power App for creating the application, and using the Power Automate, we can automate the process. So yeah, so this is the summary. So in today's webinar, we learned what is Dynamics 365 customer insights. We learned some functionality of the customer insights, like how to connect the data from different sources, how to unify the data, how to enrich the data, and on top of that, how to do some analytics on those unified data. And we can export those data or measures or segments in different Power Platform also. And yeah, that's it for me. So Richa, you can go ahead.
Thank you, Dhruv, for the wonderful presentation. I request all the attendees to share your email address in the chat window so that we can share further communications about our upcoming webinars. All our webinar decks and recordings are available on our Cloud9 website under the respective event information. So please visit our site cloud9infosystems.com. Now we'll come to our Azure Everywhere Free Assessment slide. So Azure Assessment is a Microsoft and Cloud9 joint investment. So this is a consulting service available for your organization, and depending on your organization, it may be free, or you may use these consulting hours to get a roadmap to one of these services like Azure Migration, SQL Upgrade, Power BI, and Analytics. If you are interested, please email us at c9sales@cloud9infosystems.com or call us at 855-225-6839.